and welcome to my live stream. It's Rob here from Cruising on the High Seas. Today, we are talking all about budgeting travel. And here also today, I also have a special guest in the basement that will join me on this topic. Are you ready down there? All right, let's welcome in Josh from Moonlight Adventures. How are you doing here today?
Doing good. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you.
Pretty good. So, like I said in the introduction today, we are talking all about budgeting traveling. What are your thoughts on that? And how can you make that happen?
For us, we kind of strategize. So we have our budget, our household budget, and it is what it is. It doesn't change. But we do side gigs to travel. So Instacart, Uber Eats, DoorDash, any of those kind of things. That's how we build our funds for traveling. We used to have a Instacart YouTube channel, and the slogan for it was sailing one batch at a time. Is kind of how we would that was our slogan for that channel. But we ran out of time just trying to do everything, so we had to stop that for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, side gigging is a great way. That way you don't impact your family budget. And I used to umpire a little bit as well, and I still do when in the springtime, and that's all cash money at the plate. So that works as well. But
what kind of umpiring are you talking about?
Baseball.
Baseball, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I've been umpiring baseball for almost 10 years now. I've had to slow down this year because I've had some health issues. So until that gets rectified, I hadn't been calling. But yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, I used to do like Instacart, Skip the Dishes, DoorDash. I know a few of them you probably heard, if not all of them.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's our big thing, my wife and I, is that, nothing impacts the original budget because we have a 5-year plan, which everybody's not, that's not for everyone. That's not the way everyone budgets. But I do think that the moral of that story is to make sure that you don't impact your budget, whatever it is. Sailing and traveling should not be a priority. Let me rephrase that. It should be a priority because you need it for your mental health, but it shouldn't be a priority within your budget. If you can't afford it, you can't do it, right? So that's why we like to do things outside of the family budget to make it happen.
Yeah. And of course, with us up here, I'm not sure about for you guys down there. If we want to do like Instacart, Uber, Skip the Dishes, all that, we even have to let our insurance company know that we're also using our vehicle for business purpose.
Yep.
Because heavens forbid you get in that accident, your fault or not. If they see that you got commercial stuff in your vehicle, you may not be covered. But let's just dive into the chat quickly. And welcome in all the ones that are in the chat so far. We got Sir Larry saying, "Good morning, Bobby. Good day." Plump, plump, plump. Myself. Crystal from Destinations Delight. Good day. And traveling with Eric B. How you doing? Yeah. Like for me, they say Carnival is the budget traveler, like the budget cruise line. I've yet to sail with them, but I've seen their prices, and They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Right on top of the pie.
Yeah. So see me traveling. I don't know if they're in the chat or not, but they're big on MSC. That's something that we haven't done yet. We'd like to sell MSC, and Chastity and I we've thought about just a vlog on sailing as cheap as you possibly could. So, from soup to nuts, from the time we get on the plane to the time we get on the plane to come back home, doing it as cheaply as we can. So that would be, flying with someone like Allegiant or Spirit, then getting on the ship. And we think that we might want to do it with MSC because it would be a new cruise line for us. But, and just doing everything that's included in the sailing, no drink package, nothing like that. And, the premise of the thing would be, can you still have fun?
Okay, can I just hold up for 1 quick second? I just have some in the basement. I just want to get them up as soon as I can. Are you ready, Larry?
There we are. Oh, here, let me get in the camera here. There we go. Good morning, gentlemen. I was signaling to Rob to bring me up because you're talking MSC, Josh.
And I'm
planning a cruise on an MSC ship.
I was just about to say, if you're thinking MSC, just hold off a little longer. We might just have the cruise for you.
But they are having a Black Friday sale, though. It's the drink package that you were talking about, Josh. Free.
Yeah, I mean, it will be tough sailing without the drink package, but I think we could do it.
Well, actually, from what I'm seeing for the cruise that I'm looking at, Josh, the drink package actually isn't too bad to add that on to the cruise.
Oh,
it really.
Well, but the thing is,
and all the other ones, it's.
This video we want to do, Larry. Huh? We are going to do no additional costs, so nothing.
Oh, wow.
We're not gonna pay one more red cent than what we pay for our booking.
Yeah.
And the whole thing. Can we still have fun? Can you still have fun? I know you can.
I know the answer. You can. I think you can. It all depends on, I'm a budget traveler.
Yeah.
And yes, you can. You can still have fun. Yeah, yes. Did you guys ever sleep? Like, I'm up early actually.
I slept for a little bit, maybe about 7-8 hours. And then start preparing dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a busy day yesterday, but I napped after I had my tryptophan, hit from the turkey. Took like a 2-hour nap, and then we went riding in the side by side. So we're at our in-laws here in Tennessee, and I actually missed deer hunting this morning, but my father-in-law, he went out and he killed a couple deer this morning. He brought the heart in. We're thinking about cooking the heart up here in a minute. Sorry about that. If there's
you're at the hunting camp, it looks like you're at the hunting lodge.
Oh, this is their place. They have. I love the interior walls of this house. They have. It's all wooden walls, and it has a very cabin-like feel. It's cool, and they're nestled right here up on top of a place called Grandview Mountain, and It is beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. They've got. I think they have 5 acres here that they sit on, and surrounded by all kinds of wildlife. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I where I live here in Powell River, we get deer coming through here all the time. Like
you got big deer,
huh?
In BC, you got big deer.
Yeah, big.
Yeah. Well, these
big deer,
these ones here are pretty small.
You got all that stuff going on up there.
I've seen some big bucks, not here. I only see the mummies and the babies.
I saw my first moose when I was in Alaska this past year or this year.
Oh yeah.
And it was probably a quarter mile away from us, and it was still big because you could tell where it was at on the tree line, and it was just.
Have you ever seen an elk?
No.
Oh my, they're just as big as I would. Okay, how do I say it? Because I've already seen moose and I've seen elk. I don't know which one's the most dangerous. I would say the moose, but the elk are just as big and can be as dangerous.
Yeah.
I worked a couple of summers in the Jasper National Park at a resort, and they're just everywhere. Like they're common. You can walk right up to them. It's crazy too. Like you're pretty stupid to walk up to an elk with the big, sharp, pointy horns and stuff. But
Yeah.
they're beautiful, beautiful animals to watch, man. I don't know how they would be breeding. I've tried moose and I've tried deer. Actually, I want to say this to you. I went hunting once before. I did deer. I hunted deer before, but never got nothing. But I did hunt rabbit, and that was when I was really young, and I didn't have a respect for it. I shot a rabbit and didn't eat it. I gave it to my brother, and ever since I felt bad. Like, no, I won't go out hunting. I'm not against hunting. It's just I won't do that. I can't. I just like I will eat deer meat because I eat cow. I eat burgers, steaks. You know what I mean? Like, so
there's not much better than deer meat for me, especially if it. A lot of people say it's gamey, but it's only gamey if it's not prepared right, and if it wasn't, we hang ours, let them drain, and if it's cold enough, let them cure. And the longer you can do that, the better the meat tastes.
And the way I've had it was marinated in beer.
Oh yeah.
Tenderizing.
I do mine a lot of times in like if I don't have time to really marinate it, I'll put it in buttermilk, salt, and pepper. And then take it out of the buttermilk, salt, and pepper, and then just put it right into a cast iron skillet.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
When should we come over?
Really. Rob and I are both.
We're going to try deer heart here in just a second. Well, not in a second. We'll probably do it for lunch. I've never had deer heart, but I've heard it's the tastiest part of the animal because it's just. If you put it out of your mind that you're eating a heart, right?
I don't know. I love trying things for the first time. I would try it, but I don't. That mental thing. It's hard for me to get rid of that part.
But it's a muscle, and it's the leanest muscle on the animal. So sorry about this. Hang on.
It's okay. You get some hunting dog. They get some hunting dogs, Rob.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, I can't be too loud. Ananda's still sleeping.
Now, are you on a cruise in the library, Larry?
No, it's a different library.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why, but you guys probably still have sunlight, and I'm still in the dark here, and it's pouring down rain.
I'm just starting to get some light.
Wait, where are you at again, Josh? Like time zone?
So this is Grandview, Tennessee. It's between Cookeville, Tennessee, and where Kenny's at in Kingsport.
Okay, over there.
So I'm about 2 hours away from Kenny.
I just
not
looking
now,
at
but where
flights
he lives.
yesterday down there. I found some pretty good flights. Some pretty good flights, although from Vancouver to Tri-Cities, that was $765 Canadian return. But just cross the border into Bellingham, it drops down to $300 Canadian return. So,
yeah,
I like to go there, Tennessee. My youngest, my daughters, they live in New Mexico. My youngest, she was over into Tennessee.
It's beautiful here.
That's not a bad price. Good morning, James.
Hi, James. James is getting really excited for his first cruise.
I think it's 105 days?
I don't remember.
105 or 104, one of the two.
I'm hoping we get to sell on that one with James.
So your thoughts are maybe going on that as well?
Yeah. So the problem with March for us is that's when our son comes back from Korea.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's right. Yes, you're waiting for your son to come. That's right. Yeah.
So as soon as that happens, we'll know if we can or not. But I'm 66 days out from my next sailing.
You guys call it March break, right? No, spring break.
Spring break.
Yeah,
what's your son doing in Korea?
So he works for the Air Force, or he's in the Air Force, and he works on aircraft electronics.
Okay.
Woohoo! AvGeek. Yeah. But ironically, I'm an AvGeek, but I did C. I was in Sea Cadets when I was young. So
Yeah.
I go Navy
I'll be right
and
back, guys.
air.
Yeah, he's a man after his dad's own heart. He wanted to do what I did in the Army, so he's doing something similar in the Air Force.
I want to say thank you for your service. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
And I say that to Troy all the time. Every time I see him, man, I'll continue to say it. Please don't take anything from that. That's just me. A lot of you guys, I know how you guys are in America. It's strong, and it should be. I feel it's my duty as a human being to say thank you, because it's not just America that you're protecting. You're protecting a lot more than just America doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been on some ops and done some things with some Canadian troops. So
yeah,
they're as dedicated and rough and tough as any American is.
What is it? Hooah? How does it? Hoorah or whatever?
It's just the Canadians are much more polite. They'll kill you and say,
yeah.
Oh,
No,
sorry,
you shoot first. No, wait. Let me shoot first.
I don't want to shoot you. Sorry.
Sorry,
I don't want to. No, I don't want to.
Oh, wait. Here, I'll use a different bullet. Yeah.
Oh,
That's funny. Uh-oh. Amanda's yelling at me.
What did you do, Larry?
Sorry, love. He's sleeping.
Now, go with the famous phrase, it's Bobby's fault.
No, if I say that, I'm responding back. She'll even get even worse.
Well,
So
it's okay.
I heard you were on a quad for 4 hours, Josh.
yes, it's a side by side. It's called a Talon, a Honda Talon, 1000 cc. Yeah, we were riding around the mountains out here. Shot a lot of video, putting a video together or a vlog together right now
Nice.
for it. So
Nice.
it's kind of cool because it was on a mountain called Hinch Mountain, and it used to be a work camp up there, and they would pull rocks down off of the mountain. There's actually a rock business out here that sells like the large big rocks to go into pools and decorative stuff.
Yeah.
And it's one of the largest in the world. I mean, they get rocks for things all over. You probably had some of these rocks and some of the stuff that some of the excursions and some of these pools that we've been in.
Ironically, I live about 1 mile away from a rock quarry, and they do the blasting, and actually, depending on the cloud level, the bang, like the lower the clouds, the louder the bang. It's like rock. Wow.
But out there, the camp where they were mining these rocks back in the day, I mean, it's way back. So there's some old cemeteries out there that, I mean, early 1800s, very early 1800s. It's pretty wild, pretty wild. Just imagine this area back when America was that young, because they didn't even know if America was going to survive at that point.
How old is America? Is it 17?
230 some odd years. Yeah.
It's funny that you said mountains, Josh, and I'm not making fun of it, because I know it's beautiful down that way. Mountains is us. Like, I live next to mountains. Snow-capped mountains.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I've been up in the Rockies. It's definitely different.
And you've been to Alaska, so I live 424 miles south of Alaska border.
Yeah. So what's your temperature there right now?
Right now, well, it's raining. That's what we get a lot is a lot of rain during our winter months. But right now it is 45, feels like 39.
Yeah, you get more like Seattle weather there where you're at, don't you, Larry?
Yeah. And now for me, though, being Canadian, I can actually walk around outside right now with just my short sleeve shirts and shorts outside. It wouldn't bother me. I'm sure there's a lot of Southerners down there saying, "You're fucking nuts, man."
Not this one. I'm the same way. I mean, I don't. I run hot, so
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
it's 50
ironic.
degrees
Yeah,
here.
I run really, really hot, but I chose to go on a cruise way down south.
Yeah, but you can get in the
hot.
water and you can drink cold drinks. So
Yeah, that was an experience. But I can say I'm not a cruise virgin anymore. I've been on 2. I'm not blue card. Like Rob will be if he ever joins Carnival.
You can no longer say I'm blue dee dee da.
Yeah, you only can say that once, and then you gotta, move on.
I do have a Carnival cruise booked.
Yeah,
It's
but
almost
you're still gonna be a
paid
blue.
off, and I'll still be blue.
Josh, you're not Carnival blue anymore, right? You're gold.
we get our gold on the next sailing. Yeah,
The next one, yeah.
and then
I'm
the sailing
actually
after
not
that,
too far from gold, because what am I at? I'm at 15 right now. What do you need for gold? 20 something? 25?
You're at 15?
Yeah, I'm at 15.
I think it's 25 nights at sea, and then is it 50 for the other one?
Yeah, so I just need one more cruise, Rob, and I'll be gold.
One more cruise during that one, or one cruise complete?
I have to complete one more 8-day cruise because I'm at 15 right now, right? Oh, sorry, a 10-day. So what do they call journey cruise? I'll take a journey cruise. And then I'll be gold. No, I'm good. I just felt really, really, really good when I got that red card. I really did. That's a symbol for me moving up.
Okay. I don't know if I should take this one way or the other way. I wear shorts 24/7. I'm not. So I'm just going to leave that one alone.
That's good, James. You should wear clothes at all times.
Yes, James.
Unless you're in the shower.
Some people call shorts another name.
Now I have showered
sorry,
completely clothed before, but that was a necessary thing. So you come off of a convoy and do an ops all night, and you don't want to go into the hooch with all the dust and dirt all over you, so you just hop in the shower. Troy knows what I'm talking about.
Oh my! But, you said hooch. I haven't heard that name in years. Like I'm talking the '80s since I heard that word.
The hooch.
The hooch.
Oh, the hooch. Yeah. Wow. Oh my God! Now you're bringing me way back, Josh. Thanks, man. Oh wow! So your cruise is coming up very soon.
Yeah, 66 days. We'll be on the Carnival Freedom out of Port Canaveral.
Port Canaveral.
I don't want to say I'm disappointed because I'm never disappointed in a cruise. The only thing I wish we could change is I'm happy about hitting Amber Cove. That's going to be a first for me. We're also hitting Grand Turk. So Grand Turk is I'm really excited about hitting Grand Turk as well.
Yeah, Grand Turk. I would love to visit that one.
But we will not be going to Princess Cay or Half Moon Cay. So it's all right. We have sailed with Carnival now. This will be our 4th sailing with Carnival, and we have yet to be able to experience Half Moon Cay.
Oh wow!
So I don't know that anybody can say that.
I have not.
We set foot on Half Moon Cay the last sailing we went on, but it was during the tropical storm and it hit. And so we got to walk around. I had one beer and then they said, "Hey, back on the ship." So we really didn't get to enjoy it. We had a cabana booked and everything. We were excited, but
I hope you got reimbursed at least some of your money.
Carnival lost some money that day. And they were kind of on the fence as to whether they should actually go to, and I'm sure they wish they wouldn't have even went to Half Moon Cay
by letting everybody get on there, you lost money. They lost money. Yeah.
They took care of everybody though. There were a lot of drinks that were sold that day because people were up underneath the the bars, just buying drinks one after the other, thinking the rain would pass over, but it never did.
Yep.
See, you're saying Amber Cove. That's where I was just at, and they have. Well, they're called overwater bungalows, just like anywhere else, but they're not the fancy ones. But I'm seeing now that I've seen them in person, I think they would be worth it. Get a group of people together to pay whatever. Like you see the number as a couple, you're thinking, oh God, that's a lot of money. But if you have a group, like because we were on a group cruise, you have the group of you sitting in there taking that off. I would have loved to take one, but they were booked solid. Even before we went cruising, it was booked, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And that, that's so you're talking about budgeting, Rob.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you got to think about as a sailor when you excursions, getting to an excursion, splitting that cab fare. If you can find somebody to split a cab fare with, anything like that you can divvy it out. If we're on a sailing where we don't know anybody, we start flirting with other couples. Not for the upside down.
I was just going to say you're wearing your upside down pineapple. All right.
No.
Try to get a little PG here.
Hey, you want to do some stuff when we get on the island? Hey, let's split a cruise fare. So split a taxi fare. So that's a good way to save some money. And the same thing, Larry, like what you said. The cabana or something like that. Most people are willing to do those kind of things to have the experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like back in 2014, I'm gonna say, maybe earlier, I was flying out of Toronto into LaGuardia, and I had to transfer over to JFK because I was catching up with my family in Orlando. About maybe a row or two ahead of me, people from the exact same city as me asked how you plan to get over there. I guess just jump in a cab. Well, we're going over there too.
Yeah.
So instead of us taking our own separate cabs, we all jumped in the same cab and off the way we went. Personally, I think I got the better end of the deal because I want to say the cab ride was about almost $35-$40, and it was bumper to bumper traffic in New York. They only charged me $10 to go from airport to airport.
Yeah.
A $10 cab ride in New York, that sounds like you're going down 2 blocks down the street.
Yeah, they only charged me $10 and they covered the rest. Wow. And it was only the three of us in total.
Yeah.
Okay, and then of course plus the driver.
Yeah.
But that was in 2014 though, Rob.
I would say I want to say that was about 2014. So many years ago.
My cruise in March, I took a cab from the hotel was at LAX all the way down to Long Beach. It was $35, and that was only, I'm guessing, 35-minute drive from an Uber. I'm actually liking this Ubers. Like where I live in here, this town, we don't have any of that. It's a small little town of 12,000 people.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of stuff, and so I've experienced Ubers, and I'm really liking the Ubers, but they do have whatever you want to call it, that
XL, all the different tiers.
Different tier. Well, there's different tiers, but then there's a name for it, but it's different pricing for different demands and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like that you can schedule it ahead of time too, if you want.
You can schedule ahead of time. I also like the fact that you can just bada boom, bada bing, and then just get in the car and get out. You don't have to worry about, I got to get my money out of my wallet or any of that stuff.
Pro tip, and this may not be completely true, but I've found it to be true every time so far. You're talking about the demand thing, right? So you can I want it to be here in 15 to 20 minutes. I want it to be here within 30 to 45, like all those different tiers. I always pick the cheapest one, and never have I ever been picked up any later than 20 minutes from when so that's a scam. I think that's a scam.
There's a point to this as well. When how do I say it? I took an Uber I was staying at a hostel to the airport, and long story with that, but I'm not going there. but I had forgotten my GoPro at the hostel. When I left the hostel, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I got to the airport like 9 o'clock, whatever. And I forgot my GoPro. So when I left to go to the airport, it was like $12 for the Uber. Well, I realized like an hour later, so maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, hey, I forgot my GoPro. I need to go back. And at that point, it was already up to $40 for the Uber ride to go that same distance that I just paid $12. I'll shorten the story up a little more. Eventually, I was talking to a bunch of people. The cheapest I got with an Uber or Lyft, they were saying like $60 to $70. I even asked a cab driver, because that's the only ones that can pull up and pick up passengers at the LAX airport. He was saying, I'll do it for $120 to bring me to the hostel and come back. That's what he was saying. In order for me to go to the hostel and back, he said he would do it for $120. No. Long story short, I eventually ended up waiting a half an hour, and the time went down within a half an hour. So again, it's if you're doing an Uber, if you see one price, depending on the time, try to hold out a little longer. You know what I mean? Don't think that, hey, I got to get that Uber at $50 for the ride. Wait some time, and then you can get it to change. All depends on the demand, right?
Yeah, like for example, referring towards Uber, I tell my coworkers, because I'm out of Terminal 1, I tell my workers, if you need an Uber, take the train all the way out to the Alt Hotel, which is about half an hour walk out past security, and then a small train ride. So it would only take you maybe about 35 minutes, 40 minutes max.
Now,
hold on a second, Larry. Catch your Uber there, because the price will go down. Plus, also, you're not going to get slapped with the airport charge for them to come in.
So I was going to ask you that. Can they pick up at Pearson, at the terminal itself? So in LAX, they're not allowed to come up to the terminal. You have to catch a shuttle bus all the way around to this side where they have the cabs, Lyfts, Ubers, all these ride shares. It's in its own little tented area where you go, and that's where you order your Uber. So you're saying I can order an Uber at Pearson Airport and they can pick me up at Arrivals?
You would have to go down to the bus station, which is just below Arrivals.
I'm curious, Josh. Oh, he's talking. I'll wait. Josh?
You're muted.
Yeah, he's muted. It's okay. There you go.
Go ahead.
So when you fly, do you ever take Ubers or anything?
Sometimes. It just depends. So like the last time I took a train, I Ubered. It was about $110 to Uber to the train station, but I was going from Philadelphia train station all the way over to Lakewood, New Jersey, which is
I was
not
just wondering,
terribly
can the Ubers pick you up at because I thought that was really annoying because they can't do it in YVR either, Rob. They can't Uber can't pick you up at the terminals here. So I was just wondering if that was the case in your local airport.
They have everywhere I've been. They have a spot that they can pick you up at.
Okay, good.
But yeah, they will drop you off at the terminal, but they won't pick you up at the terminal.
Okay.
And
so that is
that's
common
a safety thing for TSA. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they don't like having people parked outside terminals.
No, of course they don't. No. That's a real common thing.
Yeah.
Keep her going, keep her going, keep her going.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't know about for both of your airports, but at mine, you also need, like, using as a taxi format, you also have to be approved by the airport to go in.
Yeah.
And there's announcements constantly. I haven't heard for a long time if they still occur, which I'm pretty sure they do. It's just I'm zoned out of it because I hear it all the time. But basically, taking an approved taxi cab that actually has the logo on the side of the vehicle saying that they've been approved to come into the airport.
Yeah. So everybody knows where you work, Rob?
Well, I do work at an airport.
There you go. See, Rob was holding out on that one. So now I can talk about how you work at an airport and stuff.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I work aviation too, a little different, but I'm familiar with a lot of the regulations, and it's
More
at least in the United States, it's
yeah.
interesting because you have to, number one, be cleared through TSA, and then number two, you have to be cleared via FAA regulations as well to work in and around the airport. It's a little bit of a hassle, but
My mobile home is a 10-minute walk from our local airport here in town. It's a small little airport, by the way. Like small little terminal. I actually have access to get in myself actually, but it's because my wife's uncle used to be a pilot here, and it's so like if you know how you have like a private pilot will fly in or whatever, they'll have access to the gates and stuff. So that I have that kind of access to get in here. But I don't take advantage of it. It's not like I go in there and hang out at the airport and watch planes all the time, but I could if I wanted to.
So in Canada, do y'all have a version of the TSA pre-check, Rob?
Yeah.
And does it cross borders? Like because I'm TSA pre, if I flew into Canada and then when I was flying back, would I be able to use my TSA pre, or is it something different I'd have to do up there?
I don't know the answer to that one.
Okay, so here's what happened to me, Josh, and I'm finding out you would have this access. My last flight, which was in last month, going down to Miami, flying out of Vancouver. I'm looking up an app here that I have. Give me a minute. Flight apps. Oh my God, not in there. Where'd it go? It's a border app that you sign before that will allow you to pass security. I'm trying to remember.
You're talking about the Express app?
I can't remember the name of it because I had it all set up here, but I changed everything around and now I can't find this app. But there's two different things. There's one where, because YVR, I don't know if Pearson has it, but YVR has an express thing where you can bypass all the other security. We also have ours is called Nexus. Yours is called TSA pre-check and stuff like that. Now with ours, like they vet you. You have to do, it's like they do interview questions with you and stuff like that. Is that how pre-check is with you guys?
I don't know how the whole process works. So I was able to get my pre-check just because I'm DOD. So I gave them my DOD ID and they just granted me access. But I know there's an application process.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because you are D&D, that's slightly different. But so when you say there is a process, an applications process. Okay. So
it's similar to like trying to get clearance. Well, I mean, it's like a passport application where they're going to check and
So that would be our Nexus thing, which lets you bypass the security. But now you still gotta. It's not like it's an automatic go through. They still ask you a couple questions and then they get you through. So now I just tested this out. I just found it. It was YVR Express, and you had to type in a couple things like you're gonna to do whatever, and then I had to take a picture and say that I was at the airport, and then I can bypass the normal lineup of the security and go through this other one. Now I still had to take off my belt and my shoes and all that kind of stuff, but it allowed you to bypass the longer line, really what it was. Now the Nexus, which went through the exact same line, you didn't have to take off all these other things. You didn't have to take off your shoes. It was like, bam, faster. But this one here allowed me to bypass this whole lineup by answering a few questions before I got to the airport. Now, like I said, I still had to go through security, stand at the scanner and to do whatever. but there is a difference. Whereas with the Nexus or the TSA pre-check, it was less secure. So there's that, and then also, like say you're flying out of Vancouver down to America, they have a border where you have to do border or passport control. Exact same thing.
Yeah.
You
Get your passport stamped and the whole nine.
Yeah. So they do all the pre-questions that they asked you when you get up to the passport thing. They allow you to answer those questions beforehand, and you get there and you take your picture, and then you go through this other line bypass and all the other big lineups, and then you walk right up. Because like when I did it, walked up, there was one guy in a wheelchair. That was it. And then I went from walking into YVR at 5 a.m. to my gate within 30 minutes. Like it just blew me away, like how fast. And then the previous trip, which I took the end of August down to see my kids, it took me almost 3 hours to get from the door to my gate.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
LAX can be a nightmare if you don't have pre-clearance.
Oh my God, that's a scary airport. I used to be my favorite, but I only flew in and out of international. Domestic, those terminals suck.
Yeah, if I'm flying into California anymore, because generally when I'm going there, I'm working in Southern California. I've started flying into Ontario now. It's a lot easier airport to navigate.
Mhm.
Yeah, or Long Beach. Either or, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's where I drive to. Anywhere I go, Tampa, you see what I drive. Yeah, drive to Tampa. Yeah. James, isn't James up from Jackson? Isn't he?
Pennsylvania, Erie.
Oh,
We looked at, after I did the train trip, Chastity and I thought it'd be cool to try and do you can catch a train from the Northeast Corridor all the way down to Miami, but it's 36 hours. Nah, I think we'll pass.
Josh, I've traveled all across Canada numerous times. I'm not tooting my horn or anything. I did it through Greyhound from St. John, New Brunswick, which is right next to Calais, Maine, all the way up to Alberta, which is basically North Dakota. 55 hours on the Greyhound bus. Yeah. I used to love it. Now that flying is cheaper.
Yeah. I hope it stays cheaper, but unfortunately I don't know.
No.
If you look at the stock market right now, we're headed for a downturn. So.
Oh yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And you're down by Richmond too?
Yeah, I'm below Richmond. We're in the Virginia Beach area. I normally fly out of Norfolk or Newport News. So if you know where Williamsburg, Virginia is at, that area there. So we're halfway between Williamsburg, Virginia, and Virginia Beach in a little town called Smithfield.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because a few years ago, maybe about 5-6 years ago, we actually drove right down to Richmond, and we jumped on that auto train and took it all the way down to Florida.
Yeah.
Great. It was a great ride, but the internet on board was not the best.
Yeah.
See,
So are you on Amtrak or what?
Yeah.
Which?
Yeah. That was with Amtrak.
Yeah.
For me,
I like
Rob,
the cafe car on those
Yes.
trains though.
well, this is what
It's
I was
nice to
gonna
go
say
have a
with that.
halfway decent meal and sit down at a table.
The reason why I've taken a train, Rob, from Toronto down to Halifax. I didn't mind train, but because like what you were just saying about the meal car and all that, to me it would be, how would I say it? I would only enjoy it if I had a sleeper car, which that's when the prices go up. But sitting in a normal seat in coach, I don't think I would enjoy those long trips in coach.
No, I mean they're comfortable. It's much more comfortable than an airplane, but it's the hours will build up if you don't have a sleeper car.
Mm-hmm.
See, for me, I was a smoker all those kinds of travel times that I've gone across with Greyhound. And so a bus stops every 2 hours where you can get off and talk to people, and you can do that on the train, but a lot of people are kind of like sit in their own places. They don't really socialize. Or on a bus, you're forced to sit next to the guy that you're going to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, or someone that's around you,
What's that?
or somebody that's around you.
Oh gosh, I've met so many people on Greyhound buses. But
You're going to get to know your buddy on a Greyhound bus.
Pardon?
That's for sure. You're going to get to know your buddy on a Greyhound
Oh
bus.
yes.
Whether
Met
you want
some
to or not.
interesting characters. Actually,
Yeah.
You might have heard about this story about this guy that was on a Greyhound, and I've taken this route numerous times before, but this was, I don't know how many years ago. Guy ends up chopping somebody's head off, and I don't want to get into the graphic detail.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one,
Rob.
I remember that one.
Chopped off his neighbor's head and did some other stuff that's not good. So they found him criminally insane, not responsible, and he's now out on the street.
Ooh.
Yeah. This was, I don't know how many years ago. Less than 25 years, I'll say that. Way less than 25 years. And he's now out in the street. Yeah, like, whew. This is crazy. But yeah, speaking of Greyhound, but we no longer have Greyhound in Canada. It's gone. They got rid of it. I actually don't even know flying is cheaper than Greyhound was. I can fly to see Rob right now for under $200, but return, right? Now that we have ultra low cost carriers like you got in America.
And you could probably always up there in Canada go find you a bush plane and just pay for the fuel, and they'll fly you wherever.
Well, no, Josh, that's not true. I'm sorry. I have to say that. I actually purposely bought this mobile home, which is a 10-minute walk from our airport, because before I moved here, Ananda, my wife, had bought me for my birthday, because she knows I like flying, an hour's flight time with a local pilot here that she went to school with. They're not allowed to charge you because they need the commercial's license to do that, but they'll charge you for the fuel. And right now, the fuel is like $150 an hour, right? You know, and so since I've been here since 2015. I've tried to talk to pilots, and they're really close knit. My wife's uncle's not a pilot anymore, right? So he's retired, and so I don't have that access like I thought I was going to have at the airport to hang around with the pilots. I'm not going to go over there and say, hey, can you take me up for the flight? A lot of them don't. I even know the president of the club, the flying club, local flying club here, and they're pretty, they're not that open about, hey, yeah, I'll give you a couple bucks to take me here. No, because I'm willing. I'll go halfers with you. Josh, you own your own plane. Hey, Josh, I'll give you, $75. Let's go up for an hour's flight. But they don't even do that. Yeah. Plus, I'm a bigger guy, too.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more fuel.
Now, Larry, I doubt that's the case.
No, it is. Josh would know. The heavier you are, it takes more fuel. It's the weight.
Yep.
It's the heavier the weight is, it's going to take more fuel to do whatever it needs to do.
Yeah, and it determines where you're going to sit too.
Where you're going to sit and all that kind of stuff. But I actually just got to fly on my first float plane in March. I'm actually still editing a video from that, and it's like, it was like a dream come true, like landing on water, man.
So the airport you're at, do they have a float plane landing there too?
So what it is this local airport, we have a local airline. It's called Pacific Coastal Air, and they fly Beechcraft 1900 Cs or Ds. No, 1900 Ds. So we have a regular asphalt runway, but we also have a float plane service that flies numerous places out of Vancouver, downtown Vancouver. We have a local lake where they land on.
That's cool.
So what it was is this trip that I went on in my first cruise in March, I took the regular plane down to Vancouver, and when I was coming back, I took the float plane, which was just starting its new service here to Powell River, and I wanted to be on a float plane. It was $99 for a 30-minute flight, which was a steal for me for experiencing
Yeah.
for the first time, right? Oh, it was dreamy. Oh, I could live up in the plane, man. I love flying.
When we were in this last trip to Alaska, I was working at a Fairbanks International Airport, and they have, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the largest float plane landing and airport in the world there on Fairbanks International.
Yeah.
And it's a huge, long lake, and it's crazy to see all those float planes
Just
parked
all
up
the
there.
float planes.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's crazy.
I love flying. And then you hear about these, because we're into cruising and stuff, about these couple things about accidents happening. I have no fear of whatsoever of stuff. These things are going to happen. And from what I understand, they fly beavers up there, which I really want to get into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all about the
At top
beaver.
of the
Larry.
chat-
You like the
at
beaver?
the top of the chat,
I
if
do
you haven't
like the
seen that,
beaver.
I have a question.
Where do we got?
At the top of the chat, I did a poll. So if you guys would like that, answer if you haven't yet already.
There, they answered it.
You may or may not be surprised on what the answer is.
See, I know Rob, and I know where Rob works. And I know that airport quite well because I've flown in and out of there before.
Yeah, I imagine you know the airport very well, Larry.
Actually, I want to ask you, Rob, because Swoop or
Yeah.
Flair, do they fly into Pearson? Now, do they use Terminal 3?
Mm-hmm.
Really? That's not good. Sorry.
Why you say that?
Terminal 3 isn't that a? Oh, and wait, that's the newer terminal, isn't it?
That's the newer one.
But it's still a distance away. Now, how did they get that? I haven't been there since 2012, Rob. Sorry.
Okay. So how do they get what?
From Terminal 3 over to 1, say if I was going somewhere else, Air Canada down to New Brunswick.
So once you get off of your flight from Terminal 3, it depends upon where you're coming from. So in your case, because you're coming from BC, literally pick up, you walk down to out to the baggage hall, pick up your bag.
Yeah.
Unless it's bought within the same ticket.
Yeah, I know what that means. Yeah.
Unless like within the same ticket, then they transfer your bag over. But if you buy like two separate tickets,
if I bought Swoop and then I'm taking Air Canada down to the East Coast, I would have to do all that switch. But what I was meaning is, so like in Seattle or other, I don't remember what other airport,
I
they
was
have
about to
the
get
train
there.
that takes you around from terminal to terminal.
Yeah. So so if you have to pick up your bag, pick up your bag.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go up to the link train.
Yeah. Okay, they do have one. Okay.
So it's the blue train.
Yeah.
And it runs every 8 minutes. And because you're in dead center, it's like 4 minutes unless you're on the off-peak time.
Well,
and then
the reason why I'm saying that, Rob, is when I was back there in 2012, they were just building Terminal 3. And I didn't know all that stuff that they were doing there, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I like. So when you hear different terminals, and you got to get from terminal to terminal, you want those to that train service. Like this LAX, I think they need it, but they don't have it because you got to get on a shuttle bus and wait for it to come, and it's just packed, and you get all these. I'm not even going to go anywhere near the negativity that comes along with going on those shuttles at LAX, getting from terminal to terminal. I actually had to walk from Terminal 1 all the way over to the other side. So,
yeah. Now we also do have the shuttle buses,
Ugh.
but the catch is with the shuttle buses, they only run when we have maintenance going on one of the tracks, and we have two trains that run, and they're offset.
my flight coming back here, Rob, I had to get from YVR terminal over to South Terminal. I don't know. You've never been out here before, have you?
No.
So they have the main terminal at YVR. Well, they also have South Terminal, which the airline that I fly to Powell River, you have to go from YVR over to South Terminal, and they have a shuttle bus, and that's every, you would think it'd be like every 10, 15 minutes, but here we are, two people waiting for to catch the shuttle over to the other side of the airport, and it took like 45 minutes for this shuttle to come. Like, it's like this girl almost missed her flight because it was at 45 minutes a shuttle, like from terminal to terminal. So when I hear, Terminal 3 to going over to Terminal 1, and they don't have it like LAX, they don't have a bus, they have a shuttle that you have to go all the way around and wait, and stop at every terminal all along the way and then get back to the other side. No.
Slam the brakes, slam the brakes, slam the brakes.
Slam the brakes. And then people's suitcases falling all over. And I was sitting in the front and suitcases falling towards me because they didn't put them in properly. It's like, give me a train. I like the trains. I like the train service that they had in Seattle. It was nice, quick,
but
efficient.
In this case, say you're going from Terminal 3, or even Terminal 1, whichever one you want to take.
Yeah.
And you're going down to our island airport, and you only have, say, 2 hours to do it.
That's a different thing.
And say you only got 2 hours to do it. I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, no. That's a different situation. That's a totally different. That's not a terminal. That's an airport. A totally different airport.
Yeah, like you're switching airports. Yeah, good luck. You won't make it because it took us about at least an hour just to go from airport to airport, and then we still have to do the check-in process.
So, Josh, I never caught the full conversation about MSC. So what were you fully saying about MSC?
So doing the idea that we have for a vlog on going the cheapest possible.
Yeah.
I think you either do Carnival or you do MSC, and we want to sell on a different brand. So we're thinking about doing MSC. We haven't picked anything yet, but we were talking about it on the way down here, and we met with Kurt and Marcia from See Me, and they're big MSC folks. So, that's kind of the idea. And soup to nuts, doing it as cheaply as possible. So flying Spirit or Allegiant, one of the budget airlines, and doing that round trip. No drink package, no excursions, just whatever the cruise fare is, that's what we pay. We eat everything that's included and drink everything that's included.
I was already looking, Josh. There is tons. Actually, Carnival and MSC, in my opinion, they're comparable in prices for the most part. Product is different. I'm actually.
I think MSC might be more enjoyable.
I was just going to say that
way because of the level of the food.
Have you seen the Cruise World, Mark and Steph's video? Okay, so I'm looking at MSC Seashore, which is fairly brand new. I think it was 2021 it came out. Now the MSC Seascape just came out. So for this cruise that I'm looking at for June of 2024, there's two. There's the Seascape is out of Miami, or the Seashore is out of Port Canaveral. The Port Canaveral one is what we're looking at because it turns into a back-to-back, which is 11 days, and that's only $689 for 11 days.
Wow.
For the 7 days, the 7-day portion of the 11, it's only $449. And with the Black Friday, I think it was the Black Friday sale that they were doing, it was going up to $549 with the drink package, free internet, and a $50 onboard credit. For $549 for a 7-day cruise, man, on a very brand new ship. Now, people are complaining about MSC and all that kind of stuff. I haven't been on MSC, but if you watch Mark's video, because I have it on my group here and stuff, I just love how he just did his video work in there. And you can tell, because I've been on Carnival, right? So now I can see, like, I felt like I was walking on the ship with Mark's video. Yeah. You can tell, like, there's a big difference there, right? And for that price, like, you can't beat it. So it's a no-brainer. That's what I'm. So right now, I'm actually. Rob knows. I'm actually in the middle of trying to block out some cabins for my cruise, and the only problem is I can't get a hold of people to do it. Twice my call got disconnected trying to get a hold of the groups department, but that's normal. That's normal for TA work. You have to have all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
before
go ahead, Rob.
before we start heading on out here, I just want to go over the poll. 66% of you said yes, and 33% of you guys said no. The correct answer is I get asked a lot.
Not surprising.
Where the smoking section is.
Yeah.
Well, truthfully, in my opinion, I think there should be smoking sections for people. I used to smoke, but I don't. I quit. I can show you on my app how many thousands of days ago. I think they should have that.
Yeah.
But again, there's also political points to that, and I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. One of our videos on the Carnival Magic, we took my mother-in-law, and she's a smoker, and we'd never even considered where the smoking sections are at on ship.
Yeah.
But we had to for her, and it was really convenient on the Magic, and we actually got some comments like, "Thank you for showing us where the smoking section's at."
Yeah.
So we're thinking about going back and looking at some of our video from that cruise and just making a smoker's guide to the Carnival Magic.
I like how
it's important.
I was on Panorama and Horizon, and so they're both sister ships, basically mirrored images. And I like how where they have the smoking section. And I imagine the Magic, they're pretty much deck 11. I'm assuming just above the Leo.
Deck 11 on the starboard side.
Starboard side, yeah. There you go,
Yeah.
right? So exact same thing, right? And so, to me, yeah, I think we need to be respectful to smokers, just like they need to be respectful to us. And I really like where they put that. Now, I do have issues if they're people pay a lot of money for balcony cabins and they're smoking out in the balconies. I don't really.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I hate stepping out on my cabin, taking in a good deep breath of morning air, and you know what? I can deal with cigarette smoke better than I can deal with smelling skunk marijuana when I step out in.
Like my neighbor. It's legal here in Canada. I can talk about it. I don't care.
Look, I don't care if you smoke it. I'm not anti-marijuana. I'm just anti not being considerate of your neighbor.
That's
right.
What I'm
same
here. That's same here,
yeah.
guys. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think, one of the worst things, and I may catch a little flack for this, but one of the reasons that we've had such an opioid problem in our country is because marijuana is not legal. I mean, some people have to treat their issues, and that's their only outlet. So what else can they do but resort to pills?
My last job, I'm on disability, Josh. My last job in 2017, I was an outreach worker. Plus, I worked at a homeless shelter for 5 years. I got to know addictions quite well, not as a counselor, like a professional in that sense. I was just a worker, right? So I learned a lot about addictions and stuff. Again, yeah, we don't want to really say too much on here, but I do understand it, and I do support your thoughts in that. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a holistic, natural way to treat pain, anxiety, and I'm all for it. But just like you don't want to smell my farts, I don't want to smell your pot.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, but I actually just wanted to say this because look. Oh, is this one of these balcony pictures that you got here, Rob? No, that's the aft. Sorry. I actually just experienced a balcony. This is a pro budget tip. I experienced a balcony for the first time. Now, we were talking about heat. Well, going in the Southern Caribbean and the heat, you didn't really want to go out in your balcony. You wanted to be inside your cabin where it was cool. Now, at night, there was some nice cool breeze coming in there where you can catch a really nice thing. I did like that. But for me, I don't mind an interior cabin. I have no issues with interiors because I did it solo with myself on my first cruise. It was an interior, and then this cruise I just went on was the balcony. It really doesn't matter, and I'll save money and go on in an interior. And if I want to have that experience of the balcony, I'll go up and the Lido, right?
Another one that we found out, and they offered us a room transfer, which we ended up actually getting an onboard credit because it was cheaper, was an obstructed view room.
Yeah.
So there's a lifeboat in front of your window, but the room is actually bigger.
Yeah.
And you can see a little bit of ocean, but we didn't care. I mean, and the room was larger.
Yep.
But it's the same price or cheaper than an interior.
Larger rooms, Kenny's room. Ooh, I would love to have his room.
Whoa.
It was a big room, and he had it to himself. What, Rob?
Just someone came in. Whoa.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Your mod's not paying attention, Bobby.
I may have to fire the mod.
Yeah.
Just cut the corner of my eye.
There we go. Done deal. We both teamworked on that one.
Yeah.
Nope, they still haven't got back to me yet. I'm waiting. I sent an email to MSC saying somebody needs to get a hold of me. I forgot yesterday was Thanksgiving in America, so I've given them an extra day to get back to me.
Yeah.
But balconies. I don't think I'm going to, unless it's a good deal. You know what I mean? I'll go after a balcony, but I think I'm just going to stick to
James. We got mods in the house.
Yeah. He's just busy talking and yakking, pissing off his wife, keeping her awake. So we got to do this tomorrow morning too, Rob.
Yes, we do at 10 a.m.
It's 7:06 here now, so I got to go get breakfast.
Yeah. So before we get off here, y'all want to take some time to talk about the hashtag KKP?
Yeah.
Yep. It's
So what are y'all's time slots? What do y'all have?
Larry.
Okay, mine's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern.
And then mine's tomorrow again at 10 a.m. Eastern with Larry.
Yeah, we're partner channels, Josh. So that's why we're always hanging out together.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But our little buddy Kenny needs our help. I'm right in there, and I was already looking at flights.
Yeah. So who's on? Is there anyone on right now?
No, not until 12.
12 is one. Okay. I should know more. I'm in every phone call, but
and that's with Destinations Delight.
Okay.
I'm already. What do you call that? Notified.
Yeah.
Josh, wife said what?
I think it was something about when I said it's so big.
Oh. James is military too, wasn't he? No.
Yes, he was.
He was?
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah,
he was Army. He served in the right branch.
Oh, that's why he said go Army earlier. I seen him put go Army. I don't think you would know this one, but so our youth Sea Cadets. It's not the same as you guys down there. We have like youth Air Cadets, Sea Cadets, Army Cadets. That's it, because we don't have the Marines or any of that stuff, right? Or Space Force. So we have Army, Air, and Sea Cadets. And so for Army we call them grunt, and then Air Force we call them pigeon toes. So, and then for us they called us guppies.
Yeah.
Right, down you go, boy.
Oh, that was Lucky?
Yeah.
Hi, Lucky. Tell Dad you want a treat. Tell him to be nice to you.
My little puppy. Well, big puppy.
Not a laptop like Josh. You have a laptop, don't you, Josh?
Yeah, 3 of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. You want attention.
2 Shih Tzus and a Boston Terrier.
Yeah, that's the big dog I saw, I think.
Yeah.
I actually have a dog.
The Boston's a little bigger.
I have a dog phobia, and I think it was you that had the Boston Terrier, and it's like, oh, big doggy. Thank you for your service, James.
Yep,
Appreciate
thank
it. Yeah. So, Rob, I actually got to go get some breakfast. I'm really hungry.
Yep.
Got to get my medications, all that kind of stuff. Make my
Yeah,
wife happy.
Yep, like I said, I was about to wrap this up because I got get the car taken care of, get a contract taken care of.
Larry just keeps talking, Rob.
And Larry keeps talking.
And I haven't taken my medication yet.
So
I take mine at night. That way I'm
what's on
happy
the
when I
agenda?
first wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I think okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy. Got to take the happy pill.
Yep.
Anyways, thank you all for coming on out today, and you guys for coming on up and chatting about this nice topic.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you having me.
Yep.
You gave me co-host ability, but for some reason I can't do anything in here.
Did you go into your email?
Yeah. And I did it
I don't
last
know.
night. You don't remember seeing my email I sent to you?
Anyway,
You're ending the show. Sorry. Shut up, Larry.
we'll figure it out.
All right. Thanks, gents.
Okay. All right.
Nice
Thank
to
you
see
all.
Josh. Take care, brother.
All right, and thank you all for coming on out here today. And until next time, I will see you on the high seas. Bye for now.